Hey, what's going on, everybody? Putting our woman first. I like to talk about that. I want to give a disclaimer before I start. This has nothing to do with a man versus woman deal, no gender wars. But if you take it that way, you take it that way. Um, Man, let's stop doing that. Let's stop putting women first. I don't care if it's a good woman or a bad woman. Stop putting your woman first. You matter in this world as well, just as much as your woman, just as much as your kids, just as much as your siblings, anybody else in this world. Stop sacrificing your hard-earned time and your resources just to make your woman comfortable, right? And like I said, I don't care if she's a good woman or a bad woman. What happens is we lose ourselves in the process, right? Society tells us that we're supposed to make our woman comfortable. We're supposed to be the provider, the protector, right? All these things to make sure that she comfortable, make sure that we give it to her, that way, she can feel as if she ain't got a want for anything, right? And if something happens, we're supposed to be there to protect her, right? But we lose ourselves in the process. And how that process work? Well, we go to work all these hours, right? Not only for her, but for ourselves as well. But yet, you got some men out there that's killing and slaving themselves out there for work so that they can protect and provide for their woman, right? And then, they give to their woman, and they women, they sit there and they level up on that, right? What happens is once you do that, a woman is looking back at you like, hey, well, what's the problem? Why you not up here with me? Not every woman, like I said. You got some men that's fortunate enough to have women that's more traditional, that's more old school, and they still got them traditional ways. And hey, my man, bless you if that's you, right? But society is changing, right? So you have to sit there and put yourself first before anything. Stop putting your woman first, man. Stop killing yourself for your woman, right? I mean, you have goals in life as well. I got a lot of friends of mine that I know that's dying, stress related, right? I got one good friend of mine that died just a year ago. It made this past December in 2021 that passed away trying to satisfy his woman. Stop doing that. And it's just in female nature for them to do that. They want to be protected. They want to feel loved and wanted. They want to be provided for. And like I said, that's just female nature. It don't make them a bad person. It just make them, we are, by nature, we are created to do those things. But we are losing ourselves doing that. I can't stress it enough. We are losing ourselves doing that. Society is changing. Once upon a time, there was a thing where the man was, generous. The man was a gentleman, and then a woman was supposed to be humble. A woman was supposed to be submissive. Them things was once upon a time. Well, society is changing now to where some women, not all women, but some women not as submissive and humble as they were one time. They don't care about saving face, right? So, they moving on. They want women's rights and all that, and I'm all for that. But we are getting stuck and left behind. Just like you heard about in the Bible, where they talk about, biblical terms being left behind or being caught up in a moment of a twinkling of an eye in biblical text. Guess what? We had got left behind as traditional men, right? We get left behind because our women is leveling up on us, right? And we still stuck here trying to be gentlemen, right? Trying to be the provider, the protector, and dying in the process, right? And then we wonder why a lot of our men nowadays seem so weak, because our women is leveling up and we still stuck in the same spot. Men, stop doing that. Stop putting your woman first. Put yourself first and get to where you need to be. That way, if you have time and extra resources to do so and help a woman level up with your resources, it won't harm you in a process. You won't lose yourself because you already found yourself, right? You already became who you are. But trying to do that for yourself and her, it's just in a nature to sit there and not be a user in a bad way, but yet be a user as far as allowing you to step in and comfort her, should I say. So let's stop doing that, fellas. Let's And then and for our kids, the generation that's coming up under us, right? I got a son, I just had a son, and I don't want to sit here and see him in a position that we're in. Just like a lot of guys that I know, you don't want to sit there and see your son come up in a position that we in. There's a paradigm shift that didn't happen. We still stuck stagnant. A lot of us, if you notice, a lot of guys that go to work, doing the right thing, come home, they not the same as we were 10 years ago. Right? Because this paradigm shift that didn't happen with the equal rights with women and whatnot, like we don't feel needed anymore, right? So we stuck scrambling, trying to figure out what in the world is going on. You got a lot of guys that want to still preach. Back in my day, it was this, it was that, but a lot of guys don't want to change. A lot of guys don't want to move on, realizing that times can change. It ain't the same no more, right? So you got to realize that and just move on. It's never going to be like it used to be anymore. But we have to change so that we can not only teach our sons what's going on, but yet be that example for them as leaders in their life, so they can see. Because if it's like this now, I think about it. If when my son get my age, I'm going to be dang near 70 years old. If God bless me with that ability to see that. And I'm not going to be able to do for him then that I can do for him now. So just think about that, fellas. Let's change ourselves so that we can be the living representation for our sons to be able to still hold the little bit of value that you have. If you that God, now, if you just that type of God that society wants you to be, because let's just be real. Society nowadays ain't breeding men like they was back in the day. Back in the day, society was breeding, strong, gentlemen back in the day, powerful men that can withstand and make the impossible possible. Nowadays, society is breeding more weaker simp type men, right? And that's what got us all in a scramble. But if you still holding on to them strong, traditional gentleman type ways, then you have to sit there, right? If you got that woman to be able to be that type of person, if you got that woman, right, that allows you to be a gentleman and not take advantage of it, that allow you to sit there and be, like it was back in the day, then bless you, like I said. But if you have that, go ahead on and teach your son that, right, to look for that type of woman, right, to teach him morals and standards in women instead of just going off what he's seen, right? But if you don't have that in your life, then you got to teach the good with the bad. Right, we got to teach our sons, whether we got that type of woman or not, that it is women out here on a majority, right, that's going to sit there and use and abuse you and use you to level up. And then, women will chew you up and spit you out, right? They'll chew you up and spit you out. You have to teach our sons that. We have to teach them that's both sides of the coin. It ain't only head side of the coin, it's also a tails. Let's teach them both sides. Let's step up, fellas, right? And I mean, just understand, like I said, don't make a woman bad for what they doing, not some women. Like I said, you got women out there that understand the power that they have, and then they use that for their benefit, whether it's going to destroy you or not, right? And if it does, oh well, they're going to just move on with the next one, right? So, and then another thing, like, let's stop getting into these scrambles with our women. Understand female nature. Research it, fellas. It ain't all about going to work, providing, and doing it again the next day. You have to sit there and make yourself a better version. Teach yourself. Empower yourself. Don't just do what you think you need to do. Go ahead on and research and make yourself a more intelligent, a more powerful being, right? Let's stop sitting there and getting into these little petty arguments with women, because that's what women is going to do. That's just all about female nature. We more logical, we trying to sit there and argue with a woman based off logic. Yeah, of course it's logic, but you ain't going to win based off logic. I don't care how logical we get. I don't care how many facts we get. You're not going to win with a woman. Why? Because of you not fighting the logical side of a woman. You fighting the emotional side of a woman. And if whatever you saying don't make her feel like she want to feel, you're not going to win that. She want to feel like, okay, she want to feel whatever she want to feel, whether it's, whatever the case may be. You fighting feelings. You're not fighting logic, right? So let's get up out of all that. Let's sit there and be best versions of ourselves. Let's understand female nature, and let's understand that the times should change. Change with them, right? Change with them. Be versatile. If you got that good traditional old school woman, brother, bless you, right? If you got that more modern, new day woman, then hey, you have to just, deal with the cards you dealt, right? Only you know what you need to do in this situation, right? Keep her, utilize the tools that you have, or try to reinvent yourself and become another version of who you are, right? But you have to sit there and upgrade. You have to sit there and empower yourself, teach yourself, right? Don't just stay where you are thinking that society is going to go back to where they was before, because it's never going to be back to how it was back in the day. Times then came and left, right? Change with the times. Don't get stuck being that old school dad, that old school husband that's just born, that just don't want to do anything, that just want to be the couch potato, that just want to complain and tell stories about how it used to be. And brother, I'm with you right there, all the way, 100%. I am that person at times, trust me. I have to sit there and do all the things that I'm preaching up in this video, but facts is facts. Let's change. And let's stick together. We need each other. It ain't all about going through life trying to figure out answers on our own. That's why we get stuck in this little rut in life, not knowing how to get out of it, because we ain't realized we didn't got stuck in it. You're trying to figure everything out on your own. That's why we have each other. Women have each other. That's what give each other strength. That's what give one another strength, right? So let's lean up on one another, and let's go through this thing, and let's reinvent ourselves. And then we can sit there and go through modern day society. It don't matter how it's changing. When it changes, we change with it. All right? So I hope that you like what you heard. I hope you like this video. If you do, hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Once again, this is Thomas the Great. Y'all have a good one.